Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. One, two, three, testing. 1 2 3.
IndianaHighSchoolSports.net presents the 2021 Indiana Boys High School Basketball Preview Show, live from Fat Dan's Deli at 840 West Main Street in Carmel. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call Universal at 317-872-0775 and by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue, by Weston Cleaners, and by Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. Now, here's the host of tonight's show, Avi Falguni.
Welcome to the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show. I'm Avi Sharkar. You have seen me mostly behind the camera, but now I'm in front of the camera. We're here tonight at Fat Dan's Deli, 840 West Main Street here in Carmel. Tonight's show is brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call 317-257-0779. We're also sponsored by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia, Weston Cleaners, and Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. And I'm here with my first coach here tonight, Andy Weaver. I'm playing for the coach. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about last year, obviously, with COVID impacting the season and just what happened and how it went down.
Well, it was an interesting year, with, you'd lose a game maybe to COVID, but then you'd have to reschedule someone. You might have players out at different times in the year, but, I felt like at Plainfield, we handled it really well. We ended up playing some quality teams on our schedule last year that ended up benefiting us come tournament time. So, we're back at it again for the 21-22 campaign.
And Coach, speaking of last year, what's going to be different this year? With you've lost Ian Scott, who's gone to college. You've lost Aiden Booher, Dane Gardner, and Aiden Moiser. How valuable were they last year, and how can you bounce back?
Well, obviously they were extremely valuable. 4 senior starters. We have 1 returning starter in Caden Vanderbush. And then we've got guys that are going to get, a lot more varsity time than what they did last year. We have a few players that did get some points off, or some minutes off the bench last year. But we're looking forward to these guys stepping up. But, what a campaign it was for us last year, going 24-3 and winning our conference and winning the sectional and getting to the Indianapolis Regional final game against North, and we came up just a little bit short in that game, but it was a great season for us last year.
Speaking of Vanderbush, how valuable will his leadership be as the only senior on this squad?
Well, we have 2 seniors on our squad, Blake Woodard and then also Kale. But, Kale's leadership and experience, we're really counting on. He's been a full-time varsity player now for multiple years. And he's the guy we're going to look to lead us. He's a scorer. He's an athlete. He can do a lot of things out on the basketball court. He's a Iowa football recruit, and he's going there as a tight end. So he's a multi-sport athlete, and we're counting on him to do a lot for us.
Who else are you looking for other than Vanderbush and Wood to help lead this team?
Well, besides our 2 seniors, we have 5 juniors on our squad. Deray Smith is, a guy that we're counting on to provide some perimeter offense for us. We have Cameron Young, who is a versatile wing player for us. That's gritty, that's tough, that we expect to do a lot of the little things. We have twins in Grant and Garrett Irwin. Grant got some experience for us last year. He's a strong, heady guard, and Garrett is very similar as his brother. They're on the perimeter, a very capable shooter. And then we have Cooper Martin. Cooper is a battler, a guy that will mix it up for us. And then we have 3 sophomores that we have on our varsity roster right now. We have Eli Ellis, who's a guard. And a kid that's a gym rat that just, works on his game all the time and provides some perimeter shooting for us. We have Colin Schmidt, who's a 6'5" sophomore, leading scorer off our freshman team, so he's making the jump from freshman to varsity. And then we have Caden Vanderbush, who's Kale's brother. And Caden goes about 6'5". He's long. We're counting on him. He's very strong and athletic. We're counting on him to do a lot of things, interior defense and interior offense for us this year.
So we might be able to see a Caden and Kale Vanderbush duo right there.
Oh, absolutely.
Sounds like.
Absolutely. Yep. And, both jump really well off 2 feet. Our fans have seen so many dunks from Kale the past couple of years, and et cetera. But now I'm going to go back to Kale. He finished the year really strong for us last year. He had 29 against Greenfield Central in I think the regular season finale. And then in the sectional, he was phenomenal. In the semifinal game against Avon, he had 30. And in the championship game, we asked him to chase around Pierce Thomas of Brownsburg, who's now at Butler.
Oh, yeah.
And that game ended up being a low-scoring possession game. And his defense on Pierce that night was a big key for us to cut down the nets.
And I have 2 questions. I want you to look at the schedule. I'll give you a minute to see what you like on that schedule, or are you not going to take the bait and say we're taking this one game at a time?
I'm not taking the bait. It's one game at a time, and it's always been that way for us. And we scrimmage Franklin Central tomorrow night, and that's a great scrimmage for us. It's scrimmage doesn't count on your record, and you do different scenarios. You have a man quarter, a zone quarter, a press quarter, and etc. But game one for us is next Wednesday night against Avon. And Avon, with the school that size, they're going to have athletes, and they obviously have, some players back from last year. A new coach, in Coach Schaus, who's coming from Logan Sport, who's known for being, very defensive-minded. So they're going to make it tough on us to score. He runs some nice offensive stuff from what I've seen in the past. So, that'll be a great measuring stick for us opening night against Avon at home. It'll be great to have our fans back in the gym, and we're ready to get after it. But as we look at our schedule, conference opponents are very important for us, and we're a sectional team that, we have 6 teams in our sectional, and we play all 5 sectional opponents. And I believe we might be the only team that plays every other sectional opponent. But we really like playing sectional opponents during the year, so we know the schedule is going to bring us a lot of tests this year.
And my final question to you is, what is the ceiling for your team this year?
Well, I think, coming back, I think there's, a lot of people are saying, well, Plainfield's going to be down because they graduated 4 of those senior starters, but I got to give credit to a lot of our players these past few years to develop the culture and the expectations that we've got. We're proud. We're 63-14 in the last 3 years, these guys, believe in themselves, play together, and play hard. We'll just take it one game at a time. But I know without a doubt we can be a team that, come sectional time. That we'll go to war with, and that's what we ask.
All right, thank you, Coach Weaver.
All righty. Thank you for having me.
Yep, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Looking for a premier first-class dry cleaner? Then look no further than Weston Cleaners off 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel. Weston Cleaners offers convenient, free home pickup and delivery service. No extra charge, and you don't need to be home. At Weston Cleaners, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Leave your dry cleaning to Weston Cleaners, located in the Weston Shops at 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, helping them through the insurance process, following up after the project is done, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors.
Welcome to the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show. After this commercial break, we're at Fat Dan's Deli live on 840 West Main Street here at Fat Dan's Deli. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call 317-257-0779. We're also sponsored by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia dealer, Weston Cleaners, and Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. And tonight, our new head coach here is Ken Roseman from Bishop Chatard. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me.
And let's start into about COVID last year and how did that impact, fans, your team, and just the overall atmosphere of Bishop Chatard basketball.
First of all, before I start, I just want to give a big shout out to my mom. I told her she's my biggest fan. We just had a loss a week ago with my stepdad. So, Mom, I know you're listening, and I love you. And you're the toughest one of the Roseman clan. Anyway, with the COVID last year, this is going to be an interesting year. Getting the fans back into the gym, we're really excited. Trojan Nation's excited. Tomorrow night, we're going to open up with an intra-squad scrimmage. We're inviting the student block to come in and support us and trying to bring the fans and generate some excitement. So I'm looking forward to that.
And how will this year be different with, COVID easing up and getting fans back into the stands?
Well, it's just going to be a big difference because, again, the excitement, trying to generate some excitement into the crowd, playing in front of people again, just, not having that fear of all that with the pandemic. But it's going to be exciting, It's going to be a change for all of us. This is obviously another challenge. This is their third coach in 4 years. So, we got a lot of changes. So we're gonna make the best of our situation.
So last year, 8-14, 6th in the Circle City League. Just talk to me about what happened last season.
Well, like I say, I wasn't the coach last year. It's a new coach coming on board, 8-14. We're not looking at the record right now. We're just trying to go day to day, trying to get better. I'm learning from them. They're learning from me. It's a new voice. Trying to, we always talk about culture, trying to change the culture and things like that. But the culture starts with us coaches. I brought in a good staff. They want to do everything that I'm trying to implement. The players are starting to buy in. It's day 2. We're getting after it. They're competing, and we're getting after it.
I hear your son AJ is your son, and what does basketball mean to you and your family?
Well, getting this job, I lost my wife a year ago. And when Coach Ware resigned unexpectedly, I feel like she's still orchestrating everything. So I put my name in the hat, had a conversation with AJ. I said, AJ, there's an opportunity for me to get this job. And he looked me dead in the eyes and said, Dad, you go do what you love to do. And when he gave me that go-ahead, there was no turning back. So we're going at it 100% all in. He knows, though, when we're in the gym, it's Coach Roseman. But once we walk out of that gym, I'm going to hug him and love him. But when we're in the gym, I'm going to push him as the best player he can be.
So who are you looking forward to, other than your son, leading this team and helping this team find its new culture and find its new atmosphere?
Well, that's a great question. It's yet to be seen. With this group of kids, we've had to do some downsizing as far as our numbers. We kept 20 kids this year, and most programs go into the season talking about JV and varsity. We're talking about it's just one team. So we have 7 seniors returning, and from those 7 seniors, maybe 2 of them, maybe 3 played quality minutes on the varsity schedule. So it's going to be a challenge for us to develop that leadership. But the 2 that stand out right off the bat would be AJ Roseman and Carter St. John. I'm expecting a lot out of those guys. They bring the most varsity experience coming into this returning group.
And so, who is a rising star? Obviously, you've not coached this team, so who are you seen from practice and team bonding? Who have you seen that's a rising star other than your seniors and juniors?
Well, we got some young guys. We have some sophomores that I'm really excited about, interested to see how they perform on Friday Night Lights. Got a kid named Scotty Simler, a rising sophomore, and we got a kid named Colin Guy that has an opportunity to get some varsity minutes, and they're competing. They're playing hard right now, and they give our seniors a run for their money. So those are some kids that I would keep an eye on.
And I'm going to give you this schedule. I'll give you a minute if you want to take it to look through, or are you not going to take the bait and say we're taking this one game at a time, Avi?
Well, I'm looking at some legend coaches in front of me right now, and I'd be remiss to say that we're going to back down from that other school up the street, Cathedral High School. I see Jason Delaney looking at me right now. And, we would definitely pencil that game in because even though they're not in our sectional, it's a rival. I'm a Cathedral grad, but at the same time, we got them back on our schedule 2 years ago, and it's an exciting game. It brings the kids back. During the game, we don't like each other. After the game, all these kids went to the diocese schools, CYO schools. We love each other after the fact. Coach Delaney and I are great friends after the fact, but when we're on the court going at each other, it's a love-hate battle.
What are your 5 goals for this season? Obviously, you coming in and just telling your guys these are the things that we want from Bishop Chatard basketball.
This is our vision, and when I got this job, this is one of the things that I sold myself on. And again, it's not about me. It's about what we're trying to accomplish over at Bishop Chatard. And number 1 is develop young men. That's what we're trying to accomplish. We want to be a winning program. Number 2. Number 3, we always talk about being a family. Number 4, community leadership, giving back. It's the festive season with Thanksgiving and stuff coming up. We're going to be doing a canned food drive tomorrow with our inter-squad scrimmage. We want to be the ticket. We don't just want to show up for games, even though Cathedral is going to be ranked number 1 in the state, top 5 in the state. We don't want to just show up. That's just one game on our schedule, but we want to be the ticket. We want to bring some excitement, bring those cheer blocks back. Talking about the pandemic, we want people to come support us, win or lose, but be patient along the way, because we are going to be a young, inexperienced team. And then, lastly, when they leave the gym, it's bigger than basketball. There's a mission there's a motto on our floor called Festina Lente. And I talk about it a lot, and it's about we want to hurry to be with our Lord, but along the way, take time and realize that it's bigger than basketball. Building those lifelong memories and bonds is bigger than basketball.
And my final question to you is, what is your ceiling for this year's squad, as obviously you just being a new head coach and just coming in? So what is the ceiling?
Well, the sky is the limit. A question was asked to me recently about milestones. With what I've dealt with in my life, I don't look at ceilings and milestones. What I look at and what my coaching staff and what I'm getting them to buy into, and I'm going to get these boys to buy into, is we're going to live every day like it's our last. We're going to compete. We want to be the best person that we can be, the best players that we can be, and along the way there's going to be ups and downs, but at the end of the day we're going to compete and try to be the best team we can be.
All right. Thank you, Coach Roseman.
I appreciate you for having me.
Yep. And we'll be back after this commercial break.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, helping them through the insurance process, following up after the project is done, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Looking for a premier first-class dry cleaner? Then look no further than Weston Cleaners off 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel. Weston Cleaners offers convenient, free home pickup and delivery service. No extra charge, and you don't need to be home. At Weston Cleaners, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Leave your dry cleaning to Weston Cleaners, located in the Weston Shops at 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel.
Welcome back to the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show. I'm Avi Sharkar, as always, here at Fat Dan Deli's live, 840 West Main Street here in Carmel. Tonight we are brought to you by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call 317-257-0779. We're also partnering with Race Gilman Northeast Kia, Weston Cleaners, and Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. And I'm here with my next head coach from Crispus Addicts, Chris Hawkins. Coach, how you doing today?
Doing all right. Just finishing up practice and was able to get out here.
So let's talk about COVID. And you obviously are an athletic director at Crispus Addicts. How did that play in last year with COVID and just unnormal circumstances and just having to see your athletic program change and with COVID?
Yeah, just going through different things as far as just protocols and just when the kids come into the building, they have to do a pre-screen and then trying to figure out numbers for how many fans we would have in the games, and got to send certain ticket things and going to online ticketing instead of taking cash. So just a lot of different things that you have to deal with as an AD. But we had a great, solid team. Our administrators and then support staff were able to help me. So, during this, winter season, man, you just never know. Flu, COVID. So tried our best, and then I think overall it turned out great.
So how has athletic director changed your outlook as a coach? Because now you are actually changing athletic culture, and now since you are also a head coach, how does that play in to that factor?
Nah, I just think you're trying to build the whole program, and I think I individually try to meet up with coaches, try to just talk about the things that they need and they want, and then also just kind of let them know, hey, this is what I would like to see, and try to just work together and have a great relationship. And then, like I said, it just lets me know to I may take some things away from those coaches and what they do well and kind of try to implement that with my team. So it works both ways. And like I said, I think it's great, and I think it's really been helping over the Crispus Addicts.
And so let's talk some basketball here, Coach. Last year, obviously, you lost Isaiah Stafford, one of your best players. You also lost, I believe, Jalen Carson, two of your seniors. How did that impact this year's roster?
Yeah, so we lost quite a bit, I believe, 7 seniors. So we'll be younger this year. Well, we still have some seniors. Willie Mays has a great name, baseball player. But like I said, he's going to be our point guard this year. James Smith comes back as our leading scorer. He averaged 11.9 points, shot 39% from 3. And then we have Christian Nunn. That's a transfer, averaged 25, I believe, at Liberty Christian last year. We got a couple of more seniors, Latrell Williams, Maury Easler, Kenneth Harris, 6'7" kid that'll provide some rebounding for us. So not as skilled, as far as our 7 seniors last year, but they all do things individually great, and that as a team, I think will really help us.
Speaking of James Smith, what about Jaylen Hooks as well? He averaged 11 points last year. And talk about that duo and how that's going to help your team this year.
So with Jaylen, he actually is at Donda Academy right now. So he left to play at Donda Academy. So Jaylen isn't on the team this year, so he's out playing at Donda Academy. With the other kids that would be there, we have Demetrius Jenkins. He'll be a sophomore. Ronald Rutland's a sophomore. Great shooter that will be there. And then, like I said, we just have some incoming freshmen. Desmond Briscoe, 6'7" freshman, is really good. Chris Hurt, 6-foot guard, that's really good. Brandon Rogers, another 6'1" guard, that's good. And then we have a kid, and then I don't know why his name is getting me, DeAndre Lott Jr. He's 6'4", lefty. It's a matchup problem. He's hurt right now, so probably won't see him until December. But he's going to be a kid. Those 4 freshmen are going to really be ones to watch out for.
So talking about, I have two questions. The first one is, how hard is Sectional 10? Because you have North Central, Lawrence North, Warren, Lawrence Central, and Cathedral, obviously. How hard is that sectional? Just tell our viewing public.
Nah, I mean it's hard. You have Coach Delaney that's out here in the crowd right now. But you have, every team. I mean, it's never easy. Every game is going to be a hard game. It's great coaching. So you're just trying to figure out, where you can get teams and be able to exploit mismatches and different things like that. So it keeps you on your toes. Every game's a battle. And like I said, it's going to come down really to 1 or 2 possessions, and hopefully those 1 or 2 possessions go our way.
So also about last year in Sectional 10, you guys obviously lost in, I believe, the semifinals against North Central, despite being overwhelming favorites. So just what happened?
I didn't take care of the ball, turned it over. It started out in man. The game was close, think tied. I think we were maybe up 2. They went to maybe like a 3-2 or 1-2-2 zone. We just didn't execute the zone, didn't take care of it, didn't shoot it well. Coach Gardner came in with a good game plan. We just didn't adjust. So it's a learning experience. We've taken time over the summer to go over that. Teams do zone us. Are we ready for a zone? I believe we are. So you just have to, look at those things, adjust, and then just try to make sure you work on that skill development piece and just being able to shoot, maybe being able to pass, being able to make plays when teams switch up and go zone.
So your first game is on December 1st against Shortridge. So what does the scouting report say about that?
With Shortridge, it's our rivalry. We call it the legacy game. So much history between both programs. So Coach Drew Fountain's in his second year. He's always going to have his teams playing hard and disciplined. So it's going to be a battle. But like I said, we want to play our style of play, get up and down. Get a lot of possessions in, get a lot of deflections, steals, just play Crispus Addicts basketball. So we're excited to get going, and it's on the 23rd. So 23rd, and then, like I said, we're just ready to play.
And I'm going to give you one of these schedules. Are you going to take the bait and say, I'm going to look through the schedule for a minute, or are you going to say, no, I'm not taking the bait, and it's one game at a time, and Shortridge is the first game, and I'm taking that one game at a time?
No, it's always you want to go 1-0 every week or whatever game you have in front of you. It's always you got to go there. No reason looking forward to a city tournament or trying to look forward to sectionals. Every time it's right there. So Shortridge, we want to go 1-0 that week. And then, the next week you look at what games you had that week, and each game is just 1-0. So, I never want to overlook any opponent. We respect every opponent. And like I said, that's how we do.
And my final question is, what is the ceiling for your team this year?
Like I said, I think right now we're learning, blending young with old. So just trying to figure out, what works best, what matchups work best. And so, we don't want to play our best basketball in November and December and January. We want to be coming around late January, February, going into the sectional, making strides and playing the right way. So once we get to Sectional 10, I believe North Central the last 2 years got the bye. Maybe we can get a bye. I think in my 5 years, never had a bye in the tournament. So we'll see. But like I said, don't want to play our best basketball early. We want to be playing our best basketball late.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Coach Hawkins. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
I will be right back after this commercial break.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, helping them through the insurance process, following up after the project is done, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Looking for a premier first-class dry cleaner? Then look no further than Weston Cleaners off 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel. Weston Cleaners offers convenient, free home pickup and delivery service. No extra charge, and you don't need to be home. At Weston Cleaners, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Leave your dry cleaning to Weston Cleaners, located in the Weston Shops at 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel.
Welcome back to the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show. I'm Avi Sharkar, as always, here at Fat Dan's Deli live here in Carmel, 840 West Main Street here in Carmel. Tonight, we are sponsored by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call 317-257-0779. We're also sponsored by Ray Skillman Northwest Kia, Weston Cleaners, and Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. And we're here with my next head coach is R Howell of Zionsville. Coach, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So talk about last year. Obviously, COVID was a big thing, and just did it throw off the rhythm of your team last year? Obviously, you're in your second year, so that must have been something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I got hired in August, so didn't have a summer with the guys, and first time I met most of them was about the second day of school. So talk about coming in with a fresh start, and but we hit the ground running. We talked about our goals and what we wanted to accomplish. The seniors that we had last year did a great job of buying in to what we wanted to do and what we wanted to accomplish. And it was a great year. It was obviously weird with no fans or limited fans and different protocols we had to do. But I mean, it was a great first year for us. We had a lot of fun and feel like we made an impact in the future of Zionsville basketball.
So I was looking at the rosters, and last year I saw there were no seniors, and I was like, is there something wrong here? But then I was like, okay, I'm going to ask Coach. And were there really no seniors last year on the team?
So, yeah, last year we had five.
Okay.
We had five seniors. We had two guys started for us last year, two guards, and did a great job. And we had another kid who played a forward position for us. But, yeah, they're all graduated. But we had five last year, and like I said, their buy-in from last year really helped us be as successful as we were.
So I've heard before the show you have a very junior heavy team. How does that feel this year?
Well, I think it's good when you can have guys coming back for the next year. You can continue to build on things. Last year as sophomores they were an integral part to our season. They both started with Logan Imes and Nick Rehart. Both those guys started every game last year, and now that they're juniors, a year under their belt of what we want to do on the floor, defensively and offensively, gives them a little more confidence heading into this year. And then when you look to the future, they get another year of that. So all the experience that they're gaining over last year and this year that they'll get is only going to help them make them better players.
Speaking of Logan Imes, top scorer last year. How much? He's the main guy.
Yeah, no, he's gotten a lot better. He had a pretty good spring and summer with AAU and played up on Indiana Elite's team and got some good offers, but he's gotten stronger in the weight room. He's developed his shot a little bit better than it was last year, and I think he'll surprise some people based on the way he played last year and what he'll be able to do this year.
Let's talk about Jonathan Mcabee. I believe he's a senior, and how much will his big leadership be this year?
Yeah, Jonathan is one of our best shooters. We always kid around with him and tell him a layup for him is a three-pointer. So we're happy to have him. His work ethic. He's in the weight room. He puts a lot of time into shooting and understanding the game of basketball. And he's just been a great asset to the program.
Let's talk about Nick Richard. You obviously mentioned him. He's is he the go-to second option with Imes and Mcabee? So
yeah. Nick's our big guy in the middle. Being 6'9", 220. He caused some problems for the opposing team. So we look to get him the ball, and he's another junior that's gotten better over the course of the year. He's gotten a lot stronger. grown a little bit, and he's just getting more confident in his low post game. And hopefully you can expand that out a little bit so we can be successful not only for years to come, but at the next level.
So, who's another rising star? Obviously, you have those three, but who's another rising star that people should look out for? And
Yeah, well, I mean, we got Isaiah Davis, who's a senior for us this year, was at Zionsville and left and came back, and he'll be an impact player for us, especially at the beginning of the year, and his leadership abilities as we go. I think Edward Thomas is another junior that we have, long and lanky, 6'2", just a pretty good defender, and he's just now starting to kind of realize what he could become as a basketball player. And we keep pushing him, and both of those guys are going to be impact players for us, and hopefully they can live up to that expectation.
So I hear your dad was also a coach. So how impactful is he in the game of basketball, and how important is the game of basketball to you and your family?
Yeah, I mean, my dad's been a coach for over 40 years in the Hall of Fame, and just being around the gym and going to games, going to practices, riding the bus with them to games, and talking about the game, throughout my career and throughout my life. He really developed the love that I have for it, and without that and impactfulness from him, I wouldn't be here now. I mean, he's goal oriented. He works hard, and I'm just lucky enough that now he retired last year that he's on our staff. So I can always go to him for any advice and help. And I'm excited. It's another part of our journey that we get to do together is be on a coaching staff together and see what we can do.
So I'm going to give you the schedule. You have two options. You can either take the bait and look at the schedule, or you could not take the bait and just say, it is one game at a time, Avi, and we're going to just do that. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to take the bait. It's one game at a time. One game at a time. Our schedule, we put a tough one together, and I think it's only going to benefit us in the long run. I mean, we're in one of the best sectionals in the state, and we got to be ready for the competition. And I feel like the regular season's a great tune-up for that run in sectional time.
And your first game, I believe, is against Carmel, which is the 23rd. So
yeah,
it's coming up.
Right into it, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm excited about that one. It's our first home game, and have some fans in the stands. So it'll be like a true Indiana high school basketball game, and we're excited for the opportunity, and hopefully we can go and hold our own.
And just to remind people, Carmel did win the 4A state title last year, so Zionsville, you guys are up against it. So what is the top 5 goals or the goals for this year? Obviously, you in your second year, and your dad's on the bench on the sideline with you. So what are the goals for this team?
I think we talked about this the other day, and main goals, we want to get better every day. We know with our schedule, it's going to be tough night in and night out. We got to be ready to get better, regardless of the outcome of the game, and continue to improve. I think the other thing is we want to be good role models for our community. We want to, when they walk around in the community or do things in the community, we want people to say, oh, it's a Zionsville basketball player, and they're doing a great job, and get it done in the classroom and things like that. So, we want to go out, be able to be successful and have fun, and as everybody has in the state of Indiana, we want to get a state championship. We know it's a long road.
Yep.
It's a hard road, but we're willing to do what we need to do to get there.
And my final question is, what is the ceiling for your team this year? Obviously, second year, but what's the ceiling? Where is it at?
Oh, I mean, it's too early to tell. After the first few games, we'll have a good idea of what our identity is and what we can accomplish. But I think right now we just look up and we set our goals high, and we take those baby steps to try to accomplish those.
Thank you, Coach Howell. Thank you for coming on to the program, and we will be right back after this commercial break.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, helping them through the insurance process, following up after the project is done, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, And our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by payment.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for a premier first-class dry cleaner? Then look no further than Weston Cleaners off 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel. Weston Cleaners offers convenient, free home pickup and delivery service. No extra charge, and you don't need to be home. At Weston Cleaners, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Leave your dry cleaning to Weston Cleaners, located in the Weston Shops at 106th Street and North Michigan Road in Carmel.
Welcome back to the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show. As always, I'm Avi Sharkar, and we are here live at Fat Dan's Deli, 840 West Main Street here in Carmel. Tonight, our top sponsors are Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call 317-257-0779. Our other sponsors are Ray Skillman Northeast Kia, Weston Cleaners, and Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. And I'm here with Coach from Cathedral, Jason Delaney. How you doing, Coach?
Good. How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. So let's jump in. Last year, obviously, COVID was a big thing. And how did that impact you and your team? And just does it feel good to we're kind of out of the state now? So how does that feel?
It's great. You know, as you see some of the fall sports, seeing fans back in the stands, and as college basketball's on here, you see the fans are back. And I went to a Butler game a couple weeks ago with my son, and the band's playing, and everyone's cheering. It was nice to see some normalcy again. But for us, I think COVID really brought us together last year, and it forced us to really have to focus on ourselves. We had to motivate each other, and I think that was an important part, that you didn't have that external, fans going crazy and all of that. And so we really had to bond together and form that chemistry, and I think that's carried over to this year as well.
So how will this year be different with, less of the restriction, less of the COVID? So how is that really going to impact your team this year?
I think, again, that COVID year carried over, and I think we just continue to build on that. We had a good year last year. We were excited about last year, and we wanted to build off of that, and we didn't like how it ended, and so therefore I think it's just kind of carried over into this year.
And so talking about last year, obviously, let's talk about last year. Sectional 10, obviously, you guys would beat Carmel. You had so many wins. You guys, I think, won the tournament, and you guys were, I heard, scary good is what I heard. And then obviously you guys just, I don't know, fell apart. I don't want to use the word, but it's just
it's the truth.
Last year. So what happened?
Well, it's Sectional 10. LN was number 3, we were number 4, and on Sectional 10 night, you can't be average. And that night we were average. And we just, LN went on to play in the state championship. If you look at all our 3 losses last year, they all have something in common. We lost to Homestead in double overtime. They go undefeated regular season. Lose to Carmel in the regional. We lost to Gary West in overtime. They lose in the Final Four to Carmel. There's a theme here. And then LN, they lose to them in the state championship. And then, we beat Carmel for the first time in 10 years, and that got us nothing. We were still sitting home at the end of March, but it shows us what we can become. It's just everything's built towards Sectional 10 because you have to be. The margin of error is so small when you play in that sectional that we've got to get better at that. We got to be tougher, and that's why we built the schedule this year the way we did.
So you're saying, one of my questions is how hard is Sectional 10? You're saying you have no room to if you fail or anything goes wrong, it's over.
Yeah, you spend 365 days until you get another chance, and that's the difficult part. You spend 11 months out of the year preparing for that one night, and it's 32 minutes, and if you fall short, you got 365 days until you can have another chance. Yeah, and so for us, Sectional 10, I believe, is the hardest one in America. When you look at all the NBA guys who have gone through there, all the major college basketball players, I don't think you find another 7 teams that you bring together that it's tough as it is in Sectional 10 here in Indiana. So like you said, the margin of error is very small. You got to be great that night and every night. And the thing about Sectional 10, you may play on Tuesday night and you beat a ranked team. Well, your reward for that is playing on Friday night against another ranked team. Okay, you got through that. Now you got another one on Saturday. It's brutal. But again, we knew what we were signing up for, and that's part of the challenge, and that's why it's exciting as well.
So about last year, you obviously lost Brinson Brady, Jalen Johnson, and Pete Moe. How impactful were they last year to your squad?
Well, Vincent Brady was an Indiana All-Star candidate, and he was special. He did a lot of different things for us. He was our leading scorer, leading rebounder. And so Vincent, he's now Air Force, and he brought so many different things to the table. Jalen Johnson was a really good shooter for us. And Pete played the first 2 games and he transferred out. And so it's a big loss, but what we have coming back, Xavier Booker now is in a bigger role than what he was a year ago. We have some young guys, we call them the puppies, that are ready to go, and Jackson Edwards has a year under his belt, and so we've got guys who are ready to. This group has been my favorite group to be around since I got to Cathedral because of the chemistry, the positivity, and just how hard they come in and work each and every day.
So speaking of Jackson Edwards, and what about Tayshawn Cromer, and how is that duo going to be linking up for Cathedral basketball this year?
Well, Tayshawn has been a starter for us all 4 years. He's been All-State every year. He was a junior Indiana All-Star. Probably the most positive leader I've been around. Just a great kid, and the way he's leading now is what a coach always dreams of out of their veteran guys. And Jackson Edwards, he's only played 1 year of varsity basketball, and you look at what he did last year, and that's only 1 year, so he's scratching the surface of his ability. But those two, and then another senior, Jade Malachi, who's kind of like, I always compare him to our Dennis Rodman. He's flying around, he's rebounding, he plays extremely tough. He just, without the wedding dress, of course. But, those 3 seniors. And then Xavier Booker, our 6'11", who has offers from about every major college. We have Jake Davis, who was a top 100 player. Led the state in charges taken last year, and then we have Jerron Tibbs, another top 100 player. So our starting 5 were all named top 100 players in the state of Indiana, and it's amazing because they were willing to sacrifice for each other, and so that's the amazing thing. They're being blessed now because of it. And then we bring guys off the bench. Sincere Germany, our 6th man, has had Division I interest as well. So a lot of guys just being blessed because they're willing to sacrifice for each other in the program.
So who are you looking out? Who is someone we should all look out for outside of your starting 5 and maybe even outside your 6-man? Who is that guy on the bench that could really spark that second unit up?
One senior, Jade Malachi, that high-energy guy. He has some Division III offers right now, but just the motor he plays with. We believe Anthony Fields, a sophomore who tore his ACL and didn't get a chance to play last year. He's looked really good in the summer and in the fall here. And then we have 2 freshmen who are going to get a chance to play, especially early on because we don't anticipate having Jerron Tibbs because of football. Derek Cannaday and LeBron Gal, both are guys who are going to be counted on to play early. So the puppies going to have to be ready to go in there with the big dogs, and then they can't just bark. They're going to have to bite as well.
So I'm going to give you this schedule right here. You have 2 options. You can take the bait and say, I'm going to look through this, give me like a few seconds or 30 seconds, or you could not take the bait and say, what's going 1 game at a time, Avi. So what's the option?
We can do it however you want to do it. I can go game by game, or I can give you the overview. I got to pick?
You can pick.
All right, so you want to go game by game here?
If you want to take the bait.
So we scrimmage Pike tomorrow night, which is a great scrimmage because it gives you a little test. Pike's very talented. And we go to Gary next week to open against Bowman. Graduated a lot last year, so not really sure with all the looks we're going to get. Next Saturday, big game for us. we go to the Ohio Valley Hoops Classic, and we play St. Ignatius, who were Final Four in the state of Ohio last year. So there's a big test for us right there. A lot of Division I guys. Rebuff, rivalry game. And we talked about COVID being back to normal or somewhat normal. That our Welch Activity Center will be packed that night. So that's our home opener. Come join us there. We'd love to have you. Then we go the next night and play in the showcase game against Brush out of Cleveland. They have a kid that's going to Rutgers, Ohio, and they have another kid, big-time Division I talent. Warren Central, another sectional 10 opponent, very tough. And then we play in the Forum Tip-Off Classic the very next day against Covington Catholic, which is a powerhouse out of Kentucky. You can kind of see the theme here, how the schedule is built. Yeah. And then we've got Arsenal Tech and loaded this year. You know, a lot of guys coming in there. And so it will be a true test, another sectional opponent. Maryville will head on up there and play the Pirates. Tough. Bo Patton does a great job with his program. And then we go to the Hall of Fame Classic, which is an honor to play in. We open up with leading Mr. Basketball candidate Fletcher Lawyer and Homestead. We lost to them in double overtime last year, and so that's a great test.
That was the number one team last year before getting knocked out by Carmel.
We had them right there. We were up 6 with 2 minutes to go and just let it fall apart. And then, you know, however that day goes, we play either Westfield or Connersville in the night game. So a great day of basketball. And then that's when we came to our players. We said, hey, do you want to play in a showcase game 2 days later? Because the Hall of Fame is going to be really tough. They wanted to play because they're competitors. We play number 7 in America, Lalamere. Up in Hammond Central on New Year's Day. They have loaded. Guys going to Notre Dame, Penn State, a kid that can pick wherever he wants to go. Then a few days later, we played probably preseason number 1 or 2 in 3A, Mishawaka-Marion. Ron College, rivalry game. We head down to New Albany. And then we have the city tournament, which is always such a great time. Purdue Polytech, which will be our senior night. And then we turn around and we have a little break there to recharge the batteries and get back to minicamp. Then we go Bosco Institute, which is prep school, 4 guys over 6'10". So as you can see, we're testing ourselves. Franklin Central, which Coach Byers does a great job down there. And then in all there, we have Carmel. That's the standard right now in the state.
Yep.
Coach Osborne and them are the standard. That's where we're trying to get to. And then our final few games, we go Chittard, rivalry game. Coach Roseman now there.
He called you out right on this seat.
I heard he called me out.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but I guess we'll have to settle it on the spot, right?
That's the record right there.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. And then Ben Davis, and then we go to Louisville Male, which will be preseason number 1 in Kentucky. Caleb Glenn going to Louisville, so a huge game. And then Zionsville, which is another version of Carmel, which is Coach Howell does such a great job. He's one of the best young coaches in the game right now. So there you go. There's a quick overview of the Cathedral Fighting Irish.
Thank you, Coach. And my last question is, what is the ceiling for your team? Obviously, you just went through the whole schedule, so what's the ceiling like? Or is it the sky? The sky is the limit?
Our plan is to make history. We plan to be the first 4A state champions in boys basketball at Cathedral history. We plan on putting the banner up there. You know, we've had to go through some pain the last couple of years, and Brad Stevens always said pain's part of the process. Well, there's been a lot of pain, and now the process has been taking place, and our plan is to make some history. Our plan is to build that schedule like we did, so that way we see everything that could imaginably be thrown at us, and our goal is to be mentally and physically tough enough to get through sectional 10 this year and make a run for this thing.
All right, and that is Jason Delaney from Cathedral. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, helping them through the insurance process, following up after the project is done, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Welcome back to the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show here at Fat Dan's Deli. We're live at 840 West Main Street here in Carmel. Tonight, we are powered by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call 317-257-0779. Our other sponsors, thank you to our other sponsors, Ray Skillman, Northeast Kia, Weston Cleaners, and Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned. I'm here with our last head coach, Coach Flatt, for Covenant Christian. Coach, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Abby.
So, 22-5 last year, obviously with the COVID, and it was, I guess, a messy year. So, how did that really impact last year?
Yeah, we had a great season last year. We had our best season to date since I've been at Covenant, and just a great group of guys. We had 8 seniors. The returner this year is Brock Buckley. He started with that group, that team. A fun season. We won the Circle City Conference for the first time. That is a challenging conference. We're the smallest school in the conference, so we took great pride in winning that conference title. We played in the Morristown Holiday Tournament, won that tournament, and then won our sectional. And our sectional, we feel like, is the toughest 2A sectional in the state. Beat a very, very strong Park Tudor team on Friday. And then we had to play Heritage Christian for the 3rd time in a row in that season and beat them for the 3rd time to win the sectional. Unfortunately, we hit Shenandoah in regional. They had the game of their lives. They shot the ball better than they had all season. So unfortunately, our tournament run ended there. But, man, a fun year despite all of the COVID issues. We had a great season. So
about last year, obviously losing to Shenandoah, you also lost Trey Flatt, Braxton Lomax, and Micah Wilson. So how did that really impact this team for this year's team?
Yeah, I think this year's team, man, it's Trey Flatt was a 4-year starter, one of our all-time leading scorers, and it just, tough to lose a guy like that. And then we had just a group of seniors, Graham Shelton, Brian Lomax, Micah Wilson, Caleb Crane. I mean, just a group of guys that were really solid. They understood culture and what our team was all about, and were unselfish. So going into this year, we're kind of starting over with the exception of Brock Buckley. He's our returning starter, our lone returning starter. And then Tony Flatt got some minutes coming off the bench for us. He's a junior, and my son as well. And I think those are the only 2 guys that have played significant minutes for us. So as we prepare for this season, man, it's a brand new group. We got a lot of new faces. It's going to be a challenge. Practices started well. I'm excited about what we do have with some of the new transfers and players that we've got. But, man, it's going to be a different team this year for sure.
So obviously Brock Buckley and Tony Flatt. So how much are you really depending on them this year? Because as you've just said, you have a new group. So what is that leadership going to be like?
Yeah, Brock Buckley, I think, will provide some excellent leadership for us. He was a top 100 Hoosier basketball, top 100, did the workout last year in the top 100 for freshmen, sophomore, juniors. He is a very talented athlete. He's a Division I baseball player, and he just went out and decided to play football for the first time in high school and had a phenomenal football season at wide receiver. He's just an athlete, and I would say he is an excellent basketball player. We're trying to challenge him in practice, and it's difficult to do. He's about 6'4". He can score the ball in a variety of ways, consistent from three, can get to the rim, is a good post defender, rebounds well. So he does everything. He will be the lead guy for us. And then Tony Flatt is just an incredible point guard, good vision, distributes well, sees the floor well, defends well, and then can do a little bit of scoring for us as well. So those guys, I think, are going to provide tremendous leadership for us, and we're definitely going to need that. I'm excited about our new guys. We've got a transfer from Ben Davis, Christian Flowers. He's a senior. Christian can score the ball from the outside. He's probably our best three-point shooter, and then he can get to the bucket and finish as well. He's a 6'1" guard. I think he's an under-the-radar guy because didn't get a lot of minutes there at Ben Davis, and then AU-wise, I think some colleges will be looking at him for sure. And Christian has come into our program and been very unselfish right from the start and has fit in really well with our guys this summer and in the fall in open gyms. So I'm excited about Christian. I think he's going to have a big impact for us right out of the gate with our two solid returners. We also have a transfer from Danville named Grant Winters. Grant is another solid one, senior. He comes in with a high basketball IQ, can shoot the three, defends really well, provides some length and rebounding for us that I think is much needed for us. We're gonna really need him to step into a solid defensive role for us, and I think he's going to be able to do that. And then we've got some younger guys stepping up as well. Andrew Crane is a junior, big, solid, thick guy, but he shoots the three well, gets to the basket well. I think he's going to have just a season where he breaks out. Played mostly JV last year for us, but this summer he looked really strong, and in open gyms he's been very consistent. He's one of those hard-nosed, tough guys. Man, you love having guys like that just bring the effort and the energy. And so Andrew is another one. And then Jack Fulbright. Jack Fulbright is a returning guard. He was on our bench last year with our varsity. Good shooter, solid shooter, and I think is also going to provide some leadership for us as well. So that's kind of our core group that we have. We've got some other guys as well. But we'll really rely on that core, I think, to sustain us this year.
So you're really counting on these rising players just to build up your program?
Yeah, we need these guys to step up and fill in around Tony and Brock and then Christian, without a doubt. And it'll be different because you don't often have one-year players. And so this year we've got 3 one-year players, 3 guys that transferred in. Donovan Royston is another one from Ritter that's a senior. So Christian, Donovan, Grant are one-year players transferred in for a variety of different reasons. But they're fitting in well to our culture. Our culture, we're all about die to self, being unselfish, putting God and our teammates before ourselves. And these guys have come in and fit in well with our culture. So it's going to be critical that these guys continue to learn how to play together, play for each other, and I think if we do that, we're going to have some success this year.
And I also hear one of your sons, I think Tony Flatt, is a star QB. So obviously a dual sport athlete. So what has that been like? Obviously transitioning from the football season now. He
had a phenomenal season for our football team, and he's the starting quarterback. His first 2 years he was starting middle linebacker, and then this year took over the quarterback responsibilities. You see in his play as a point guard that quarterback mentality. He's got the leadership skills that, I wish I could say I taught him that, but, man, his leadership skills, his communication skills are really good, and then his vision, his court vision is excellent. And I think that's a byproduct of the way he plays quarterback, seeing the field, scanning the field. And so, yeah, he had a great season football-wise. He loves the game of football. I'm thankful that he also plays basketball. And so, yeah, it translates well. We've got a lot of guys that are two-sport athletes, and I'm a big believer in two-sport athletes, guys not just so focusing on one sport, but being multiple sport guys, giving their muscles an opportunity to recover from the one sport. And so we've got a multitude of guys like that. Very thankful that Tony plays. I think he's going to be a great floor leader for us this season.
So let's talk about the upcoming season. Obviously, you have Traders Point on the 27th. So what's the scouting report saying?
Yeah.
What's the mentality going into the first
I was just
game
talking
of the
to
season?
Coach Delaney as he walked out. It's really tough. Traders Point has a new coach. Coach Busick used to be at Zionsville. He was at Covington last year. They had a young team last year. And so it's going to be a challenge. New coach, you always know things are going to be a little bit different, and you don't know what to expect in terms of X's and O's. Philosophy, Coach Busick's son, plays as well. So hard to know. When you go into the first game, typically when you don't have that opportunity to scout, you tell the guys, look, it's about us, how we play, and trying to impose our will in that game. So Traders Point on that Saturday will be a good test for us to see where we're at. Our season, man, we get going right away. Our first conference game will be against Brebeuf. Brebeuf is always one of the strongest teams in our conference. We finished second to them the prior 2 years in conference, and then last year we were able to beat them and win the conference. So we always feel like that is a telling game as to whether we're going to be able to compete for conference title or not.
And my final question to you is, what is the ceiling for your team, obviously, with the COVID and now losing a lot of starters but bringing some back in, and obviously you've named a bunch of guys. So what's the ceiling like? Is the sky the limit, or is it one game at a time?
We feel like this group is going to get better as the season goes along because they haven't had a lot of time to gel together, right? Last year's team had played together for 3 years. And this year's team, it's 1 year, and we feel like the progression – we're going to get better deeper into the season. So we might take some lumps early on, but I think our schedule is very tough. We play Ben Davis. We play our conference schedule, obviously. We play Heritage Christian in our sectional, Park Tudor in our sectional, University in our sectional. So we feel like we need a tough regular season schedule to prepare us for the sectional. And then we feel like anything goes when it comes sectional time. If we can be playing our best basketball at the end, that's the key. And I like what we have in this group and what I've seen thus far in our first week and a half of practice. Traders Point will tell us where we're at, right? For sure.
Thank you, Coach Flatt. Thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you, Avi. Appreciate you guys having
Thank
us.
you. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Thanks, Avi.
Thank you.
The 2021 Indiana Boys High School Basketball Preview Show on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net from Fat Dan's Deli at 840 West Main Street in Carmel has been built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call Universal at 317-872-0775. And brought to you by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue, by Weston Cleaners, and by Drive Hubler Certified Pre-Owned.
Thank you, and welcome back for my final message here on the Indiana High School Sports Network. Thank you for watching the 2021-2022 Boys Basketball Preview Show. We will see you Friday at North Central High School with Bedford Lawrence North taking on North Central. Tip-off is at 8. You can watch it right here. Thank you for watching. All of us here, from Steve Hartley, our owner, Mark Webster, our producer. I'm Avi Sarkar saying good night from Fat Dan's Deli.